Well, the most famous Canadian police encounter caught on video was at the center of a court ruling in British Columbia today. An RCMP officer accused of lying about what happened to Robert Dziekanski was found not guilty of perjury. Constable Bill Bentley was among a group of RCMP officers who intercepted Dziekanski at Vancouver's airport the day he died. The CBC's Susanna De Silva has more on that story.
Constable Bill Bentley's lawyers insisted he did not lie about what happened at Vancouver's airport in 2007. Today, a judge agreed. Bentley, just 10 months out of RCMP training, was one of 4 officers who confronted Robert Dziekanski. He'd been wandering the airport for 10 hours and couldn't speak English. The officers tasered him repeatedly before he died. At the inquiry into his death, the officers tried to explain why their notes and statements all said Dziekanski grabbed a stapler and came at the officers screaming, when the video shot by a witness did not show that. Commissioner Thomas Braidwood called their testimony patently unbelievable. All 4 were charged with perjury. Bentley was the first to go to trial, accused of lying to the inquiry 6 times. The accusation that officers compared notes to come up with a similar story before homicide investigators could question them. Today, Justice Mark McEwen ruled the Crown has advanced a suspicion based largely on circumstantial evidence, and the officers' stories were not identical. Bentley may have simply been wrong about what he remembered, or the video did not capture everything the police saw.
It's a fraud on the court. It requires not only a false statement, but it requires proof of knowledge that the statement is false. That can be very difficult to prove.
The question now, what does this mean for the trials of the other 3 officers?
Obviously, the decision today will have to be reviewed carefully to determine whether it has any implications for the other ongoing prosecutions. But as I said, each case, although there's overlap in the circumstances in some aspects, each case is being dealt with individually.
Constable Bentley was taken off active duty after Dziekanski's death and is now on administrative leave. The remaining 3 officers are scheduled to stand trial separately beginning in November. Susanna De Silva, CBC News, Vancouver.